Hello everybody, welcome to the custom battle screen as Germania. Today we're going to be talking about this beautiful roster right here, and then we're going to be selecting the tier for Germania, which, I'm very eager to give them a tier right here, so let's get started. So first off, of course, we have the peasant unit. We have the Screeching women. This is a very interesting unit. It has 11 attack, 1 defense. It's a fairly good attack, no defense whatsoever. But they have the Screech ability that takes morale away from the enemy. So it's a morale debuff on enemy units, which is really good. They themselves have good morale. Then we have the Berserkers here. The Berserkers is probably the most iconic unit of the Germanians right here. They have 19 attack, 7 defense, they have 7 charge bonus, and they have 2 hit points each that allows them to stave off death just for a little while longer. They can frighten nearby enemy infantry, they have excellent morale, they have very good stamina. However, they are vulnerable to missiles and you have to watch out for that, though they can go berserk. When you send them to attack a unit, their flag will start flashing red, and they will just strike anything they find the nearest enemy unit, which is a little bit unreliable, but it's so powerful if you get them going in the right direction. And you just need to know how to control them. They are not that hard to control. They can come back from the berserk, and then they can go berserk again. They're really powerful. They frighten nearby enemy infantry. Another debuff to enemy morale. Then we have the Naked Fanatics. We've already talked about them with the Gauls and I think with the Brits. So, good for flanking maneuvers and stuff like that. Low defense though. Then we have the Axemen. The Axemen are an average unit. They're not very good, to be fairly honest. They have good morale, yes, that's true. You should be putting them maybe on the flanks. They can hold for a little bit in the front lines, but they only have 9 defense, so they're going to be taking a lot of damage. They have 11 attack, they're going to be doing some damage, but they are just not that great on the front lines. I would use them to flank. And we've already talked about them as well. Then we have the Night Raiders here, the attack 14, 10 defense. This unit is a very interesting one. It frightens nearby enemy infantry. It has good morale, good stamina. It has fast moving. This unit is perfect for the flanks. It's perfect for the flanks, okay? High attack, good defense, good morale, good stamina, fast moving, so it's really good for that role to go and outflank the enemy. And then we have the Spear Warband. This is the best Spear Warband in the game, simply because it can form phalanx. You have a tier 1 Spear Warband unit that can form phalanx, and this is why I think that the Germanians are probably the best barbarian faction. Of course, not in the late game, especially if you go and find other phalanxes and other pike units, they are gonna lose. But in the late game, you're gonna have access to cavalry and berserkers and all of these debuff units and all that. And they are gonna hold up throughout. For the most part, they don't have good morale, but hopefully they will not need it if you keep them in phalanx and if they are not outflanked. All right, that's it. Spear Warband, definitely a good unit for the Germans. Yeah, definitely. Then you have the Chosen Axemen here. Chosen Axemen are a pretty decent unit. They have 18 attack, 6 defense, so really high attack, really low defense. So you need to be careful about this. They have excellent morale. They are vulnerable to missiles, they have good stamina, but most importantly, they are effective against armored, which means that they will ignore half of the enemy armor value. They are very good then at outflanking and going against legionary cohorts and fairly armored units because of their high attack. They just have to be flanking, otherwise they will take a huge amount of damage. Don't put these guys on the front line, they will just take a huge amount of damage. That's why the Germans have the Spear Warbands with the phalanx, really, so that they have a holding force for the Chosen Axemen and the Berserkers and the Night Raiders and the Axemen to do their damage. Then we go for the Missile Skirmisher Warband. Yeah, they're shit. I mean, I don't like them. Maybe you guys can like them and can put them to good use. Then we have the Chosen Archer Warband. We've already also talked about them, and they're pretty good units. 10-10, 8 missile attack, long range missiles, flaming missiles. It's another debuff that they can put on the enemy units. So Chosen Archer Warband. It's definitely a decent unit. It's a good unit. A little bit too expensive, and I'm sad that I don't have the cheaper option for archers. Then we have the Warhounds. They are good against unarmored cavalry. We have the Barbarian Cavalry. They are excellent tier 1 cavalry units. We have Barbarian Noble Cavalry. They are pretty good for the mid-game, you know, early to mid-game, but then they lose a lot of power in the late game because of the availability of better cav with the other factions. And then we have the Gothic Cavalry. This Gothic Cavalry is pretty good. 12 attack, 19 defense, well armored, excellent morale. These guys are a dependable cavalry unit with high defense and high attack. They are even better than the Sacred Band Cavalry, just by a little bit. That is it. And this is all for the Germanian roster, to be honest. These are all the units that matter, all the units that they have. So what tier should these guys go? We need to talk about their weaknesses. What are their weaknesses? No early archer unit, yeah, but this is only really, you know, it matters mostly for single player, for the campaign. However, for multiplayer, what it does is that, you know, usually you could buy 3 units of archers, you know, the lower tier archers, with the price of the higher tier archers. So they also have pretty low armor on their infantry, which is also a thing that you have to take into account. Their infantry is not very armored, but that should not matter much because the Germanians are a faction that you have to just charge in there and that's it. Their strength is their eye damage. They have a lot of damage output. It's high damage output faction, and they put morale penalties on the enemy units, and they have quite a few with the Screeching Women, the Berserkers, the Night Raiders, and you can even put them with the archers as well. So definitely 4 units with that. That's pretty amazing. So what tier should they have? Well, I think that they have pretty good cavalry. Their infantry is, you know, it's not the best, but it's a good roster of infantry as well. So I think they are very powerful, especially if you know how to use their debuffs. And as such, guys, I think that the Germanians are the best barbarian faction on the battlefield, and I will give them the A tier, guys. Yeah, it's a bit outrageous, maybe a little bit too high, but I think it's a fair assessment to their tier. Now, if you guys disagree with me, please state that in the comments below. If you guys agree with me, yeah, do leave a like on this video. And most importantly, do subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much.